I had like 8 calls, and one was like I'm gonna hurt you really bad / death threat that they're gonna hurt me if I keep talking about Danielle. Just a little bit. And I understand I think it could be the same person posting on Danielle's thread my phone number, okay? This is getting really serious. I'm gonna report this to the authorities too.
What's going on, people? We are back again with another MovingMAD video. Now, in case you haven't seen the video that I've already uploaded before this, where Danielle was already talking about how she wants to get a restraining order against Scott, I recommend you check it out. But there's a saga going on right now with Danielle and Scott. Now, this saga, the problem with it is that Danielle has her own side of the story, but Scott also has his own side of the story. But now we are here. We are at a position where she's saying that she wants to get a restraining order, but also at the same time, we are now in a position where he's now getting death threats, among other things, right? So therefore, Scott's in a position where he now wants to get the authorities involved, which makes sense. And I absolutely agree. No one should be sending threats to anybody. And if anything, definitely law enforcement should get involved. But what about this though? Why does Danielle want to get a restraining order? Is it because Scott's always going too far? In fact, why is it so many women online are really against Scott? Is it because of all of the allegations that we have seen on Reddit? I mean, if you know about it, then you know about it. Hashtag Scott cringe. If you go on Reddit, you know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. But it's interesting, isn't it, how now because he's getting a little bit of flavor that he's been given to other women, allegedly, he now can't handle it. But also at the same time, though, you talk about threats. Now, this may not necessarily be a threat, but it kind of is a threat. But remember the time when he pretty much called me out and wanted me to fly all the way to Florida to meet him in his back garden, or his backyard, shall I say. Again, may not be a threat, but the fact that he's saying, hey, we should scrap it out, is basically a threat because I'm not the one who's consented to a fight. You know what I'm saying? Unless we're having a professional fight that involves pain and stuff, inviting someone to your backyard usually is a threat, you know what I mean? So it's interesting though, isn't it, when the shoe is on the other foot. This is when all of a sudden we can't handle things, and all of a sudden we now have to be on the attack of, you can't do this, you can't do that, but yet you've been doing it yourself. But again though, do I agree with the fact that people have been threatening you? Absolutely not. I don't agree with threatening, period. But here's the thing though, if that's the character that you project, you're gonna get people who are gonna treat you the same way you treat others. That's just how life goes. You can call it karma, or you can call it what goes around comes around. It doesn't matter what you call it, but what you put out in the universe is something that generally you receive back, especially if you do it way too many times. Now, that is my point. That is my view at the situation itself in particular. But this whole thing now of Scott's always been online and always trying to get other people's attention, it really needs to stop. It really needs to slow down, because see, the way he does it in the most inappropriate way, because he does it in a way where all of a sudden people are now in a position where they have to threaten him. People are in a position where they have to get a restraining order against him. Interesting, isn't it? How these things work out, but then when it finally happens to them, all of a sudden they can't take it. Life. Some people can give it, but they just can't receive it. Interesting. I do wonder though, if I did really take a flight all the way to Florida, and I really did go to his backyard, and I really did decide to fight him, I wonder if he would have been able to receive the blows the way he gives it. Because some people in the world are just all talk, but when it comes to them receiving the same backlash, you see what I'm saying? But again though, I repeat strongly, this is not me condoning people threaten him in any kind of way. This is me just expressing that if you're going to behave a certain type of way, don't be surprised if you get the same reaction back. Yes, you could argue that these people don't know who he is and these people are coming after him because of the way he's treating Danielle. But the universe works in funky ways. Karma works in funky ways. What goes around comes around, works in funky ways. Always comes when you least expect it. But either way, you guys give me your thoughts and opinions on Scott's behavior in this manner. I'm making more certain to talk about it. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.